Good evening, my name is Paola Costa. I've been a resident of Summit for 8 years now, and I have a rising fourth grader in Lincoln Harbor.
My name is Patricia Fontan, and I've been living in Summit since 2008. And I have two kids that went through the schools in Summit, and particularly in the neighborhood of Washington School.
Hi, my name is Teresa Usme. I live in Summit since 2003, and I have two children. They go to the school system, beginning in Jefferson. Now my old daughter is working in Summit Public School.
Okay, first of all, thank you for giving us the chance to talk to you today about our new baby, this new project that we call Empowering Kids Organization, or ECHO for short. ECHO is based in Summit and was born from the belief that education is a fundamental right. Our mission is to create strategies and programs to empower underprivileged kids to thrive throughout their educational journey by connecting them and their families with opportunities and resources. All of us, and we have a 4-member, are very grateful that we can call more than one place home. We have the home we were born in, and we have the home we have decided to settle and raise our kids. Like most of you or all of you in this room, we also felt a deep level of commitment to give back, even if little, to this great community of Summit. It was through the involvement with schools that we have witnessed that Summit has a lot of goodwill and plenty of resources. But we were also able to notice that despite great efforts, some of these resources are still not reaching some of the kids who need them most. We noticed as well that many of the needs underserved kids have are taken for granted, like they were given when it's not, like for example, exposure to art regularly or to local history, to name a few. Either because of language barrier, difference in culture, and other factors, we see that these two things, really resources and kids, seem sometimes being disconnected. And there is where we believe we can have a positive impact. We would like to serve as a bridge and find efficient ways to connect what is available with the underserved kids living among us. And to give you one example, I'll give Teresa.
We are convinced that our children need their parents and families to get involved in their education. And because we have parents that they don't know the school system, or they don't know the amazing opportunities that we had in Summit, we have a program that provides parents with the tools and knowledge necessary to give their tools to their children through the college search, application, and transition, that the parents can support their children.
Also, in our organization, we believe that it's not only the academic part that it counts, that usually you can also teach the kids and the families through cultural events. And we have the opportunity this year to work with a group of students, ESL students from high school. And the students were working with a teacher in the English abilities, but during the weekends, we brought them to different places. We have the opportunity to visit the police department, the fire department, the EMS house, and it was fantastic, the connection that these students and their family found with this institution. They realized that they can volunteer, or they can just have a connection with the police department, that they have a sale of bicycles, and they was very excited about that. We did some trips to, one trip actually, to New York, and we learned that some of these families, they have never used a subway. They don't know, they didn't know how to ask for a ticket at the train station. And I think that this is also learning, and that we can be very helpful in this kind of connection of the family and through culture, and they can learn about our culture here in Summit, and then there will be an integration, and this will be, we believe, much easier for them to integrate in the community. Thank you very much for here our new organization.
Thank you.
We are open to questions if
Thank
you
you.
have one.
Does anyone have questions? Beth?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for what you're doing. Do you have an estimate about how many children are going to be in the program, or have you gotten it started? How many children are you impacting, or do you expect to impact?
We are a new organization, and we are going to start small.
Yep.
And also because if it's more impactful just to work with the small groups. The
Yep.
group that we been working with is 10 kids.
Okay.
But in some way or another, we can just impact different groups, and you have to think that in Summit, the Hispanic population, the one that we are working right now, is 13%, and we've been focusing in this part of the population.
Well, we're aiming to focus our programs on kids who are more or less in the reduced lunch program, or in ESL programs, or they're just arrived, and mainly through the Summit Public Schools making the connection. And for example, we know that many of these kids, for example, art is not a suitable option. So we want to address that desire that they have and educate the families to give them the option, for example, to consider attending classes at the art center. So it's not programs that we provide, but we want to also serve as these connections with programs that are already available, but they are not really being used as they should.
That's great. Thank you.
Greg?
Thank you. I have a couple questions. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for coming to explain it to us. So the first is how you're identifying the children or families that may need assistance. And the second is for people here or watching at home who may want to learn more or help you, how would they best go about doing that?
We've been working particularly with the Hispanic community, some of us for more than 10 years. Then, and particularly myself, I have many hats, and I work with the schools as a Hispanic liaison. And then at this point of our life, the Hispanic community, particularly, they know where to find us, and then we know more of the population. But particularly, we work with the schools, and we can just reach through for example, the Hispanic Parent Association. We have a connection with the schools too, and there are other organizations that we sometimes help the Y. Just to connect with the Hispanic community, and people know where to send people to us.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And we have a Facebook page and a web page too. Then you can identify with us, and we have cards.
Yeah, we can contact us through that. But mainly, I think it was born because this involvement also, we have noticed and made connections with many families. And we start learning from first-hand experience what they thought there was something that they needed. And sometimes it was just as simple like making a phone call or giving an email address. But I guess it's mainly we're profiting from the experience of many years of wonderful volunteers being through the education system, wanted to pass on this experience to somebody else and to create these connections with other institutions.
I'm part of the board of
Excuse me, Teresa, they won't hear you on the TV if you don't. You want to be a TV star.
I'm part of the board of Chat Porsomi. So in Chat Porsomi, we have a lot of our people from our community.
Steve, did you have a question?
Actually, he handled it.
Perfect.
How do we get a hold of him?
Okay, great. Anyone else? Oh, Nora.
I just wanted to thank you, and I saw that great article over the summer with you guys and with some of the students who were quoted as talking about how important this was to them, things that it just never occurred to them, that they were possibilities. So you're really doing great work, and I look forward to seeing all of you on Monday morning.
Hold up. Is there anyone from the public that has any questions? I want to ask any questions.
Is there a phone number that someone could call to reach them?
We have the
Okay. And so, let me, anybody else, anything else? Okay. Again, I think joining Nora, yes, and on behalf of all of council, thank you for coming up and telling us about the organization, having the opportunity to share with a wider audience what is necessary. I think one of the things we in Summit here take pride in is our diversity, and but taking pride in diversity also means that working at it and trying to make sure that the people who are there in our community know of the resources that are available. It's no use that there are tools there and people don't know that they exist, right? So thank you for the work you're doing, and if there's ways that we can help, come back, reach out to us and tell us specifically how we can help to make sure that people know that, that there are opportunities available for everyone here in this community. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.